teaching artist with Metal Arts, a nonprofit out of Twist, Washington. Today we're going to do a short lesson in perspective with just one vanishing point, and all of our shapes are going to grow out of that vanishing point. So for this lesson, all you're going to need is a piece of paper and then a scratch piece of paper so we can practice drawing our shape first. So paper, scratch paper, and you'll need a pencil and a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, we can use something that you have to draw a straight line, like a folded piece of paper would work just fine. So go ahead and gather those supplies and we will get started. Okay, so we have our materials, and we're actually going to use another piece of paper first to practice drawing our heart. So we can just clear this larger piece away. And I just wanted to really quick go over how to draw a heart with you, because it can be tricky. So I'll draw mine nice and big, grab whatever scratch paper you have, and we're going to start right here, and we're going to put a dot there and there, so straight up and down. And then we're going to start at the top dot, and we're going to curve around and meet the bottom dot. And then we'll come back to the top and we'll curve around and meet the bottom dot. You'll notice that it's not going to be exact and that one side's easier than the other. So you can try that one more time. The dots just kind of help you know where to start and where to end. So curve it around, and then your hand will know how that feels. So when you've done a couple practice hearts, go ahead and put that paper to the side. Let's grab our regular, just white piece of paper, whatever you have today, and we're going to draw 5 hearts, and we'll use our ruler, and you might want a eraser handy just in case. But we're going to be angling all of our hearts into a vanishing point. So I'm going to put a dot right here. It's not in the center, it's just kind of off center, so I know where that's going to be, and I'm going to angle all of my hearts towards that center dot. So I'm going to come right up above it, and I'm going to draw a heart. Pick up my pencil, curve back around. So the point of my heart is going to always face this dot. And we're going to put 5 of them around, and not uniformly. We'll put some further out than others. So I'm actually going to turn my paper because it'll be easier. And I'm going to draw another heart. They don't have to be all the same size hearts, but my bottom of my heart is always going to point to my vanishing point dot. So I have 2. I'm going to turn it again. Let's see, maybe I'll put one further away. That's 3. I'm going to turn it again. They're all going to point in. These ones I have more space on this side of my paper, so I'm going to come way out here and put a heart. And even though it's further away, it's still pointing towards my vanishing point. And then let's do one more. Wherever you want, you can come in, or you can go out even further. I might do a bigger heart way out here. And then I'll turn my paper back to kind of how I started. So now we have all these hearts floating, but they're all pointing into this dot. Now, if you have a ruler, awesome, we're going to use it. If you don't have a ruler, an envelope, or you can take a piece of paper, fold it in half, and so you have a doubled up piece of paper with a straight line. You can use this as a straight edge and pivot that around. You can use the side of a folded piece of paper as your ruler if you want. But I'm going to use my ruler. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the bottom of this heart with my vanishing point. So like that. So the bottom of my heart to my vanishing point. Then my heart has a side here and a side here. So I'm going to carefully scooch my ruler. I'm going to stick to my point, but I'm going to just move my ruler until it just touches the side of my heart, and then I'll draw a line. See? It goes from the outside edge in. And we'll do that on this side of the heart as well. And we're going to do this all the way around. So I like to do the middle point first, and then find each edge of my heart. We're just going to work around to all of our hearts. If it's taking you longer, go ahead and pause. There's no rush. Being precise is a good thing. If you don't have a ruler, just draw it by hand and see how straight of a line you can draw. So you can see on this one, this line is skinnier than this because my heart's a little bit angled differently into my vanishing point, which is fine. It's great. It gives a neat perspective. All right. So everything is going to a vanishing point. And in a lesson, the last perspective lesson, we talked about the horizon line and a vanishing point. This doesn't have a horizon line, but it does have a vanishing point. Everything is bigger and then it vanishes and gets smaller all the way till we can't see where this ends. It's just as far as our eye can see it, which is why it's called the vanishing point. So really make sure you're lined up here with your center dot, and always hold the ruler with one hand and draw with the other. And then you can put your ruler down, and we have a heart explosion happening, which is pretty awesome. So that's the first step. And if that's all you want to do, great. You can color this if you want. But since we have our pencils out, the next step would be to lightly shade, so you know that it goes darker next to the heart and lighter to the vanishing point, because the color fades out. You could do this with color, but I'm going to use my pencil. And you might have remembered that when you draw like this, the ballerina's on our toes, the tip of the pencil. But when you put the pencil on the side, it's the ballerina on our heels. So I'm going to dip my pencil on the side, and I'm going to make it darker here, and then I'm going to get lighter, 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 and I'm angling it along the same angle. And then it gets lighter, 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 and then as it goes in, there's hardly any. And on the other side, you can do the same thing. It goes dark, 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 light, light, light. And this will really show that your hearts are really receding to that vanishing point. It's all optional. It's just another step you might enjoy to make these look more dimensional. So then we just go around, color all these in. I'm staying with the angle of my heart. So I'm doing diagonal, and I put less pressure as I go down. Angling it different here. Darker, less pressure, light. You can always come back and darken it up. All right. One more to go. Dark to super light. All right. So now you have value from dark to light, and you have heart explosion with 1 point perspective, all to a vanishing point. If you'd like, you can do it with other shapes as well. Here's one that uses just circles. So circles are a round shape, so there's no center line. There's just a line on either side. So it's the same step, and then I shaded it dark to light. So there's circles, there's the heart explosion. You can do this with all sorts of shapes, including letters and bubble letters, and it just gets more exciting the more complicated shapes that you choose. All right, thank you so much. Enjoy your heart explosions.